Hi, this is Sarah, and in this problem we will be finding out how to graph logarithmic functions. So here's our equation. Y equals log of 3 of x plus 1 minus 2. And the first step I like to take is to just write out the h and the k for reference, even though we don't have to. And the first part of the equation I would like to solve is the asymptote, which is finding the vertical asymptote of the equation. We know that the vertical asymptote is x equals h, so therefore the asymptote is x equals negative 1. The next thing I like to find is the x-intercept. So we know that when we solve for the x-intercept, we set y equals 0, and we add 2 on both sides, and then we exponentiate, so that means we put 3 as exponent of 2 and log 3 of x plus 1. So these two cancel out, and we are left with 9 equals x plus 1. Subtract 1 on both sides and we get x equals 8. And our point would be 8 equals 0, which you will see later on the graph. Okay, the next thing we'd like to find is the y-intercept. So when you solve for the y-intercept, you want to set x equals 0. I have done that here. And so we get y equals log 3 of 1 minus 2. And to solve for this, we now have to use a change of base formula. So therefore we put natural log of 1 divided by natural log of 3 minus 2. And we get y equals 0 minus 2 and y equals negative 2. And the point would be 0, negative 2. Another note I'd like to make is that the natural log of 1 is 0, so 0 divided by anything would be 0. So that's another easier way to find that out. Okay, domain. We know that our domain is all x values of the function. So that means we have negative 1, which is the asymptote, and all the way up to infinity. So you can't have any x values that are equal to negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on. Now the range is all y values, and since our graph does not have a horizontal asymptote, we have no limit on the y values. So therefore, it would be negative infinity to infinity. And the last thing we need to find is our key points for the graph. And input your graph into the y equals screen, we have to do something different because it's a little bit harder. So we use a change of base formula. So natural log of x plus 1 divided by natural log of 3. Natural log of x plus 1 divided by natural log of 3 and minus 2. And now we can get our table for that. And we can just input our points from here. So 1, negative 1.4, 2, negative 1, 4, negative 0.5, and 6, negative 0.2. And now we can graph that. Okay, and the last thing you need to do is just make sure to draw arrows on your graph, because as you can see here, the graph of your calculator does not show it it does not show the graph continuing on. So that's what you need to make sure of. Okay, that's my video for Unit I Concept 2. Thanks for watching and please enjoy.